Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben's award-winning podcast, as voted by Grow Your Own magazine and by my followers and listeners. So if you're new to the podcast, make sure you click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts, listen back to all our previous episodes, sit back, grab a brew and let's enjoy today's episode. Hello Gardening with Ben fans, I hope you're all well. Well, it's Monday, I hope it's Monday, because hopefully this will go out, as like I say, my subscription's due to end yesterday, but we pre-recorded these and put these on, so hopefully they will still go out on time for you to listen to. If not, there'll be a bulk upload on Friday for you to listen to. But yeah, we'll hopefully get these episodes up and running for you. But yeah, it's a new week down at the allotment, and usually I'm saying start making your lists on Friday for the weekend, but this week is going to be a scorcher of a week. It's going to raise up to about 20 degrees while it is here in Sheffield. It's forecast for 20 degrees Celsius, which is fantastic weather, which means you need to start making those lists for this week. You need to make the most of every opportunity out in the garden this week while the good weather is here, whether it be early in the morning before you go to work or whether it be late at night after you've finished work. But make the most of this weather, and by the meaning of making the most of this weather is that you need to start looking at sowing seeds now. You need to be getting your seed packets prepared, you need to be getting them in order, you need to start looking at what needs to be growing now, and yeah, start thinking about sowing all them seeds in the greenhouse. And it's going to be a mammoth task for me, let alone anybody else, because I'm going totally mad with my seeds this year. When I went to buy all my flower seeds, I just looked at them all and I purchased them all. If you're going to purchase some seeds, why not purchase them all? If you're addicted to seeds like me, you will know the feeling. If you see some seeds, you will certainly buy some more seeds. And yeah, definitely. But we have got a busy week. I'm back on nights on Tuesday night, so I'll be going to the plot today on Monday and making the most of this weather. It's going to get up to 20 on Tuesday, I think it is, so I'll be down at the allotment early on Tuesday and then going to bed Tuesday night before I start my night shifts, because I need to make the most of this weather, like I said, while we've got it. And this week's tasks down at the allotment will be, I need to start off finishing my pond off, which I started the other day. And if you've listened to my other gardening podcast channel called Gardening and Allotment Tips, you'll have heard me talk about encouraging frogs to the garden and the allotment. Now that is my main aim this year on my allotment, to get as many frogs as possible down there, because obviously the frogs will go around eating all the slugs up, and that is what you want to do. If you've not got a pond on your plot or in your garden, try and get one on. Obviously if you've got kids you won't want one, but try and get a pond on your plot. If you have got kids, just have a look at other options. You can have a shallow little pond just somewhere for the frogs to jump into and enjoy the water. If you can encourage the frogs to your allotment, you are doing a fantastic job, because you don't want to be using slug pellets. Frogs are a natural defence in killing the slugs, and slugs are a nightmare unless you're going to go around and gather all the slugs at night. I've seen certain people, they put a flashlight on the head and they actually go around collecting all the slugs at night and picking them all up and getting them all and chucking them away from the plot. But yeah, I've seen people do that. So if you want a natural way to stop the slugs, encourage the frogs onto your plot. And we're going to be encouraging so much wildlife to our plot this year. My next major step is to encourage the birds onto the plot, and that's going to be April's task. We're going to be putting lots of bird feeders up around my plot and hopefully get some beautiful birds coming to the plot. It'll cost money, obviously, keeping the bird feeders filled up, but the more people that listen to this podcast, the more we can feed the birds. So keep sharing this podcast with everybody, and it'll encourage the birds to my plot. So that's one main task what we've got to do. But obviously, hopefully I'll finish my pond off. I'll be buying some pond plants in April when I get paid. So that'll be one thing that I do. Then hopefully this week I will be finishing off my main area of my plot. I started it on Saturday. I've been clearing all my main beds. I've trimmed back all my summer raspberries. They're all ready for this year. Now it's a case of digging over all my beds. I have weeded them all. They've just obviously got flattened a bit over the past few weeks, so I need to dig them over again. I'm going to keep digging them over every couple of weeks until it's time for planting. The more roots and stuff I can get out of them beds now, the better they will be in the summer for not having as many weeds in them. So that is our main task, to keep digging them over every couple of weeks. So we're going to be digging all them over. I've got all my paths to sort out, which is a mammoth job in itself, because I've got so many paths. So I've got all that to do, and then I've got the top of my plot to sort out, which is going to be an absolutely tough job. I'm guessing that'll go into April, that bit, but we've got so much rubbish at the plot. If you're anything like me, you just keep moving the rubbish further and further up your plot, and until there's too much. So I'm starting to clear all that now and get all that out of the way, because I've got such a big area at the top of my plot where I've been chucking all my rubbish. It's going to be a nice new area which I want as a herb garden. I'd love a herb garden, not necessarily just for the herbs, but for getting the smell and encouraging the bees to the plot as well. Herbs are good for attracting the bees, and even if it's just a nice seated area, I want a nice seat to sit down on. I've not got a seating area on my plot at the moment, so that is what I'm going to be looking at doing over the next couple of weeks. So I'm hoping we can get all that completed and all that finished over the next few weeks, because it is a tough job, and this time of year is so much hard work down at the allotment, because I do push myself probably too much, and I will get through it all, I will get on with it, but I just expect too much from my allotment sometimes, whether it's because I want to please my followers or whether it's just because I want to please myself. But I do like to keep busy down there. And another new thing what I want to build some raised beds at the end of each of my rows, just out of scrap pieces of wood. I just want to build some square beds at the end of each bed, end of each path, just to add like an extra bit of space to grow in really. And I want to see what I can grow in there, whether it be some petunias what hang down over the edges, or whether it be some squash plants, but we'll see what we're growing there. But yeah, I'm excited for this year. It's going to be a good year. And again, if you've not listened to my other podcast channel, Gardening and Allotment Tips, go over and have a listen to that. We're going to be talking about different topics over the week. We're going to be talking about planting onions, planting potatoes, planting broad beans, planting peas. On that podcast we talk about all different topics, but we just usually stick to one topic in the episode, so that we're just concentrating on that, and you'll be able to get lots and lots of information on it. So yeah, hopefully you are going to have a fantastic week. Hopefully this has gone out on Monday and not Friday, but we will see. So I hope that you enjoy this hot weather, what we're going to get. I hope you enjoy it and make the most of the garden, like I've said. And yeah, hopefully you get some seeds planted this week. Let me know on my Instagram or on my Facebook. Send me a message and let me know what you've got planted this week. I'm always loving when I hear about everything what people are growing. So until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcasts. So thank you for listening to today's episode of Gardening with Ben. We hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Remember to do click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts. Feel free to share them on your Instagram stories so that it spreads the word about my podcast and we get lots more listeners. Feel free to check out my social media sites, Facebook and Instagram as well, Gardening with Ben, and also my YouTube channel, to stay up to date with all my handy videos, how-to videos, and sharing my tips and advice. and feel free to check the link as well in the description for my Gardening with Ben t-shirts. Lots of funny gardening design t-shirts in there for you to purchase at great prices too. So thanks again, and as always, remember, keep smiling and keep gardening.